Hi everybody, how are you doing? Hopefully you're all well. I'm just getting over a bit of a cold. Only lasted 6 days, so nothing to worry about, and I've had plenty of rapid flow tests to make sure it isn't anything worse than a cold. But it's gone now and back to good form. I'll be in the garden shortly, I promise, but I thought I would, there's no reason not to mention the big event of the weekend, which is the Euros final. And for somebody who's followed England to Japan, to Germany and to France in the past, I've seen plenty of my hopes sort of not shattered, but just not realised. And this time it feels like whatever happens on Sunday, it's been fantastic. And especially after the year we've had, it's great to see a team representing my country doing so well, playing in the right way and playing together. And not to give away my politics too much, but certainly the strength and the benefit of working as a team just shines through, and that comes from the leader. And there's plenty of memes on Twitter about being more Gareth, and I think we could all benefit from thinking about that and being a bit more Gareth, but also maybe being a bit more Raheem as well, in terms of taking responsibility and making sure that you make things happen rather than waiting things to happen to you. And he definitely wants the ball, and he's been fantastic this tournament. But that's enough football for now. I know not everybody who gardens footballs, but for me it was the thing before gardening, and it took up probably 35 or 40 years of my life. So I'll leave you now. We'll go to the garden shortly. We've got some video from Sam as well, from inside her house, and then we'll pop back at the end just to review things, and hopefully you'll enjoy this week's gardening video. But for now, let's go and see the garden. Yeah, sorry for that football interlude. Back to the garden proper now. So I'm going to wander around the garden shortly, then we're going to pop and see Sam, and then we'll come back. Over my shoulder got the runner beans, which are behind a lot of other people's, but they'll keep going. So runner beans, French beans and peas, if you put them in now, there's still a chance you're going to get something by the end of the summer. That's what we've done, certainly. But for now, I'll pass you on around the rest of the garden, and I'll see you at the end. So let's start with the new feature in the middle of the garden. And obviously last time I showed you what we just put in, but as you can see from the tomatoes, it's really coming on now. We're really getting plenty of growth, plenty of new tomatoes, which is fantastic. And they should start to redden quite soon, and all the way through the bed. We've got tomatoes coming through, and that's down to, we've had plenty of rain here, and while it's been a little bit cooler than normal, we've had some really sunny days as well, which has made a big difference. So yeah, everything seems to be coming up really well. The dahlia, unfortunately, has suffered from the slugs and snails, but we're hoping potentially it may get another go, but probably not. The nasturtiums are starting to show off their flowers now, so that's good, because otherwise all they seem to be is a lot of green covering the ground. But yeah, you can see the flowers coming through, and they're really nice when they do that. Now, Rich Shackleton sent through a little cutting, a photo of a cutting he'd made of a rose, and we've done the same thing. We did the same thing at the same time of the year, Rich, just at the turn of the year. And you can see our first rose is about to flower. So well done, Rich, and potentially in the future one we'll show people how to take a rose cutting so that others can benefit from having a pair of snips or secateurs. We're going to take off the netting this weekend. Mind the seagull, sorry about that. And we'll be taking off all those lovely gooseberries that are hidden behind there, and also the blackcurrants as well, which are further up, and there are hordes and hordes of blackcurrants in there. Our poppies are out, and you can see we've got a few bees on here enjoying themselves. Ooh, and coming for me. And then across here, the cherries again. We'll unnet these this weekend and take off all the fruit we can. And next to them, haven't shown these before. They really popped up in the last 2 weeks. It's a tobacco plant, I think Nicotiniana, and they're sticky to touch, but they're not that pretty when they have loads of foliage. But we've only got one in here, and it's done a really nice job next to the cherry. And what they're really good for is moths. So at night they sort of open up, and the perfume they let off invites moths to come over. So they're really good for the garden and for make sure all sorts of wildlife benefits. Clusterberries, the birds haven't taken these. I think they're too dark to take. They like to go for the lighter fruit, so that's good. So we'll have those this weekend as well. And then moving down, these weren't up last time either. These are our hollyhocks. And if you step back a little bit, you can see how lovely they look. So sort of creamy yellow and there's plenty more to come as we go up the buds there. But they're really nice flowers to have. Get a lot of height to the garden, and the bees love them with all that pollen inside there. Moving through, we've got our Salvia amistad, something I saw on the telly all last year, and thought I'd buy some plugs this year, and we bought some plugs and they have really done well. So that's going to again give height and colour to the garden. These are Silver Princess, which are like big huge daisies, which add again a nice splash of white and yellow into the garden, and filling that space as the lavender just starts to wane. Some more bright colour comes in, and you've got the sweet pea behind, obviously, as always, and keep reaching for the sky. What we've done is we've picked out the tops, which what that means is pretty much like this. You take the top of the growth of the sweet pea and just pull it off. That means it won't get any higher than that, and all it will do will branch out sideways and get bushier. But remember, keep taking off when you see seed pods, take them off, but also take cuttings as well and put them in a vase. Anything with a long stem can go in a vase, and they're really nice, smell lovely, and add something to the garden. And here's the seed pods I was talking about. At this point, that means energy is going into those producing seeds rather than flowers. So snip them off, make sure they're gone. There you go. Borage still doing well, but it's getting very heavy. So one thing to do with borage is to stake it, as we've done here. Otherwise it can flop everywhere and not ruin things, but certainly get in the way. And then finally, this part of the garden, these are heleniums, and they really are fantastic. And when the sun comes out, just like the California poppies, they open up and give you that real burst of colour. And next to those, I've got the cosmos, which is very nice. So all I can say really this time of the year is we've got a lot of growth, a lot of rain and sun has meant everything's popped up, and lots of weeds, so stay on top of those. But it's been a really encouraging period in the garden. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. That's all for this week. Really appreciate you watching, and keep sending in your photos, your videos. I'm hoping a couple more next time, and your questions as well. We had a question around how do you is there an app somewhere you can identify flowers and plants with? And there is. Yeah, I use the one called Picture This, which is really good. It's free. I pay for it now, but it's free, and it's really helpful. And then Vicky Gardner also talked about using a paintbrush to sort of make sure that the seeds and pollen from courgette spreads. Now, Vicky, what might be good would be to get a video of you showing how to do that next time. But luckily, you can't quite see it from here, probably too far away, but our courgettes are starting to grow over the back there, which means that your advice paid off. So thank you for that. But potentially we'll get you to do that. But that's all for this week. So look after yourselves. Enjoy your weekend, wherever you are. And yeah, we'll see you when we get nearer the end of July, and hopefully really warm weather. Bye for now.